This episode of Another Happy Pod is going to contain spoilers. If you've not experienced the content yourself, please go ahead and do so before coming back and listening to the boys ramble on about it. Thank you very much.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Another Happy Pod. Do we say episode of Another Happy Pod, or is
you
it just
also
another
said
happy pod?
another twice, so that sounds kind of weird. Welcome to another episode of Another Happy Pod.
Welcome to yet another episode. God, are we still doing these, Nathan? Brought to you by the Pint Size Network, of course. The pod where we keep it fresh, positive, and dripping this week in homicidal vibes.
Yeah, leave all that in, I say. That was good. No reason to do another take. Why not? Yeah, just leave all that in.
No, yeah, man, we'll go with it.
Yeah.
Nathan, it would be disingenuous for us to record yet another take. The first one we had to spoil already because we started speaking about iCarly. We are your hosts. My name is Lawrence, and I'm joined as usual by your favourite old fossil, Nathan Bauer.
So I was wondering, thanks for putting my last name on that. So I was wondering if you was going to switch it up and think of a different joke at all, ever.
If it's not broke, don't fix it, Nathan. That's what I say.
I mean, it kind of is broke, though, isn't it?
Yeah, well, a little bit. Listen, this week, Nathan, is one of the very weeks that we created this podcast for the sole purpose, I think we've said this before, of getting each other to watch shit that the other person doesn't want to watch. And Nathan, you have watched The Boys season 1 and 2, and
It's pretty okay.
you liked it. Shut up. You
No, I loved it. It's great. It's a good show.
binged it in like fucking less than a week?
I did the first season in probably spread out over about 4 or 5 days. I started the second season. I did 2 episodes because it was pretty late, so I did 2 episodes back to back. Then went to bed, and then the next day I didn't have work or anything, so I just binged the rest of the season, the entire thing.
It's so easy to binge this show.
It is, yeah. It's very easy to binge.
When they released this, you weren't. Obviously, you got to binge the entire thing because when you watched it, obviously the whole thing was out. One thing that I was going to say, they changed the release for this. So it's released on Amazon. When they first did season 1, they dropped it as one season, like a Netflix drop, like a binge. There you go. There's the whole thing at once. This time in season 2, they took more of a Disney Plus approach where they released it like week by week.
That's definitely, from a business perspective anyway, that's definitely the smarter thing to do. I think one of the best things about The Mandalorian, which we'll talk about next week, is the fact that it's week to week, that every Friday you get that little Star Wars adventure, and that way the conversation keeps on going. Because if you remember back to like fucking Netflix Daredevil and all those, that weekend they launched, sure, all over the news sites, all over Twitter and everything like that, but pretty soon after that it was just dead. No one was really talking about it.
Compare it to the likes of Game of Thrones, right? Do you remember when Game of Thrones was on, and every week, like someone would have a new theory, and then like the next week the show did something, and that theory wasn't relevant anymore, and then they'd be like, right, a new theory. Like it was
honestly,
it was perfect.
Game of fucking we live in the UK. Spoiler alert. And Game of Thrones here, it aired at the exact same time it aired in America, so we had to stay up until like fucking 3 a.m. to watch Game of Thrones. But I always remember I loved those, even though it was Sunday night and we had work the next morning. I absolutely loved staying up until 3 a.m. because Twitter at that time was just so fucking lit, man. Everyone was so excited. There was memes going everywhere. There was just funny jokes. It was amazing.
It popped off.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what you want with this kind of show. You want to keep the conversation going. You want to keep it relevant, really, which is exactly what the week-to-week format does. Don't get me wrong, I love a binge. A binge is great. But I don't know, the week-to-week just keeps it more relevant, really.
I like my shows week-to-week. I used to like them as a binge. I now like them week-to-week because it's just so much easier to fucking manage. Like, you can just...
It really is.
Yeah, like with The Mandalorian, we're currently... well, we've got a podcast on that next week, but we're currently doing it week by week, and it's the last week in next week's coming up. And it's... Yeah. I've just been able to keep on top of it because it's it's like 40 minutes of my time once a week. I can handle that. I can't handle, like, fucking something stupid like 8 hours. Like... on a
Honestly,
weekend.
when the Netflix Marvel shows used to drop, I used to get so stressed out because I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna have to fucking do nothing for 13 hours and just binge this thing. Otherwise, I'm gonna get spoiled. So I just need to get through this as fast as possible. And honestly, it ruined it for me. It was a slug to get through. You get about halfway and you're just burnt out on it as well.
And spoilers are so easy to come by as well. It's not like it's not even like you'd have to like mute words on Twitter or something. You could go onto YouTube and some asshole could just have a spoiler right in the thumbnail for the video, and it's recommended because it's trending. It's a nightmare. But yeah, no, I preferred it. What do you make of this? Because this was a show when I first saw this show, when I saw it advertised. The thing that sold it for me was the trailer, which they used the Girls Aloud song in. I don't know if you ever did watch the season 1 trailer. You probably might not have done.
I don't think I did. No,
it's a great trailer. It's really fun, and obviously Carl Urban's in it, and it uses a it's very like an aggressive trailer, so it kind of sells you automatically. But I wasn't gonna bother with this, and I thought, you know what, I've got nothing else to watch. I'm gonna stick on the first episode. I was hooked. Like I was straight into it. So what was your what was your reaction to season 1 before we go on to season 2?
So I never really had any interest in watching this show. I didn't think it was going to be my thing at all. From what I'd seen of it and my perception of it was that it was just this kind of edgy for being edgy's sake kind of show, and just, like over the top, extreme violence for no reason, no real reason behind anything. We're going to be politically incorrect. Fuck you and your feelings. Facts don't have feelings. All that kind of bullshit. I don't know why I thought that, because there was nothing I saw which led me to believe.
It's got one of them. It's got like the same kind of vibe that Joker has, where it's like we're for troubled white kids that love Monster Energy drink kind of vibes.
Yeah.
Like it does feel like that, and it feels very much like a show that's like, I'm trying to find the best way to describe it. They use the music quite a lot. It's quite an in-your-face show. It's very loud, abrasive, and I think it does deliberately try and kind of piss people off.
But that was my perception. But that was my perception of it, though. Then, to be honest, I started watching it because you just wouldn't stop fucking bugging me about it. That's not going to happen with The Crown. Don't think it is. No matter how much you keep talking
Nathan,
to me about The Crown,
good.
I'm not going to fucking. I don't care how good it is. I'm not going to watch The fucking Crown. Okay,
you're a fool who doesn't get it, Nathan.
Fuck you and The Crown, okay? But yeah, I just finally gave in, and I thought, you know what, I've got nothing else to do tonight. I'll watch the first episode of The Boys. Even if I don't like the first 15 minutes or whatever, I'll turn it off. And for the first little while, I was like, all right, yeah, I get it, superheroes. Sorry, my watch just went off. Lawrence, you're a little bitch.
Go on, explain your little funny joke. Come on.
So he was talking on the phone earlier, and for some reason I just asked my watch to remind me to call Lawrence a little bitch at 9:30 p.m. and it just went off. So Lawrence, you're a little bitch.
Thank you, Nathan, and thank you, Siri.
You're welcome. Thank you, Siri. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, the show started, Homelander and Maeve, they're stopping the bus. I get it, superheroes. It's Justice League, but not really. It's Superman, it's Wonder Woman, but not really. It's just their archetypes. I get it. I was like, yeah, all right, this is fine. Okay, cool. Then it got to the moment where Huey is leaving his place of business, the electrical goods store, with his girlfriend. And I'm like, okay, yeah, cute romance. I'm sure this will lead for the series or whatever. Yeah. And then boom. What? She's gone? Did she disappear? Oh no. She exploded. Oh no. A guy ran through her. Holy shit. He's just holding her hands. From then, I was like, okay, yeah, you got me. I'll watch this now. And yeah, just from then, I was pretty intrigued.
Mate, that is something it's in the first trailer, and fuck, I wish it wasn't. Can you imagine selling this? I think the show really missed a trick in selling this as like a Justice League light show, and then just completely like pulling the rug out from people in the first episode with that. Because, mate, it's always been a conversation. It's been one of them things. Where like, if you had super speed, theoretically you could just run up people, like the whole like Ant-Man could just go up Thanos' arse and expand kind of theory. Like it's logically how you should use that superpower if you're fucked. It's that scenario. If you had super speed, you can run through people and just splatter
decimate them. Yeah, like literally like a bug on a windshield, just fucking straight through them.
And it's I like how it deals with superheroes are personalities. They're not superheroes, because that is 1,000,000% how it would work in this world. Like, there's no chance that like a character like Superman could exist and do it for the out of the kindness of his heart. It would definitely be that a man has been exploited and now is just the world's biggest prick, which is Homelander, essentially. What did you think about him?
So I'll touch more on Homelander in a second, but that whole concept that like superheroes as a business, it's really intriguing. It's really interesting. I don't know how much the comics dives into that because I haven't read them at all. I plan to at some point, but as of right now, I haven't read a single scrap. But that whole idea of the company Vought basically monetizing superheroes, it's really interesting, but it's also really fucking annoying at the same time. It is so what's the word? It's so antagonizing, I guess. It fills me with hatred just all the time. I hear them talking about like just all the statistics and the business side of superheroing, like all the facts that you can do that because that'll make your polls go up, your points go up or whatever, that'll give you a good reception. No, you can't save that person, people don't like them at the moment, that's not a good look for us. The whole marketing side of it, really, I think what I'm trying to say, it was infuriating, but I think that's the point of it, though. It's supposed to be like that.
Yeah, and the one thing I love about it is how there is not a single genuine person that works in Vought. At least in season 1, there is like
there's one.
Which one's that one?
Starlight.
Oh yeah, but I count her as not working there. Do you know what I mean? She makes a U-turn pretty sharpish into the show. But yeah, the thing that I love about it is how everyone there is just so shallow and horrible. Like, they're the characters that you're kind of supposed to sympathize for, but you know, like the one who becomes a little bit more prominent, who is like the kind of secretary, and then she becomes like the head person of the Seven. She's so annoying.
She really is.
But it's by design, and they do it so well. I'm interested who your favorite character is in this.
Probably favorite character. No, that's interesting.
Or some notable characters.
Billy Butcher's the obvious one to go for. He's I was going to say the charm of the show, but I don't know if that's probably the right way to describe him.
I think he is. I think that's appropriate. I think that works.
Yeah. Well, he's just great. Carl Urban is a great actor. Accents aside, although it's weird because he can do a British accent, because we've heard him do a British accent in Lord of the Rings, even in Thor, or while it was over the top, it was still better than this. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on there, but yeah, he is great as Billy. Just this complete fucking an absolute dickhead of a character, like not a nice person at all, not someone you want to be friends with, but it's that classic trope of absolute fucking dickhead with a heart of gold who secretly cares about you. There's something about that trope which I don't know, I always really like. And he does it great as well.
It's also like dickhead versus dickhead, but one of them's a dickhead because they have to be to get stuff done. The other one's just a straight up dickhead.
yeah, well, that's true. Huey is a great character. He kind of like the audience viewpoint, really, new to this whole world and everything like that. And I like him. We get some good moments with him. His relationship with Starlight is what really gets me invested in him. They were very cute together. Who else? I don't know, man. Everyone in the Seven is just a dick, so...
Actually, tell you what, fuck it. Let's run through some of the Seven, right? So, basically, to give an overview, Homelander is evil Superman. And when I say evil Superman, I mean like
evil,
horrifically evil Superman, like Hitler
Nazi
Superman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you've got Translucent, who is, as you'd expect, a man who can turn invisible, and in this world, that equals one thing: pervert.
Yep.
Which is him, and he's pretty much like invincible, at least from the outside, which we find out.
Not so much from the inside.
Starlight, I'm a bit confused as to what Starlight's powers are most of the time. I feel like she can just kind of take electricity.
Yeah, she like manipulates electricity into like light force, I guess.
Something like that.
Yeah,
I think
it's vague.
Maeve is Wonder Woman.
Maeve is Wonder Woman. Yeah.
Basically, is her power just kind of like super strength? Is that
super? Super strength. I guess. Yeah, pretty much.
And there's, I'm probably forget. Oh, there's the Deep, who is
Aquaman.
Is Aquaman, and my God, if you've ever wanted to see like a superhero movie deal with the fact that Aquaman is famously just useless, this is it. Like, he is there purely so that they can have like some kind of eco-friendly person on the team for showing sake.
Yeah.
He's useless.
He's also a cunt.
Literally useless.
He's useless. He's a cunt, but he's very useless. Yeah. So A-Train, the Flash.
Yeah, this is Justice League like.
It's literally Justice League. That's what I've been saying.
So you've also got Black Noir.
Yeah.
Do you know much about Black Noir and his comic origins?
I know a little bit, which I probably don't want to get into here because it might spoil it for some people. I mean, we say spoilers, but we're talking about the TV show, so I don't want to get into that.
True.
I don't think we should talk about that.
I won't spoil a thing, but if you haven't read the comics, please read the comics.
I haven't read the comics.
They're very good. I know you haven't, Nathan. I'm speaking to the general listener. Please read the comics, and please do not look at any theories about who anyone is.
Okay.
He's great in this. There's that scene where he just like pulls up on the piano and just starts playing it perfectly. It makes no sense, but it's great, and I love it.
So there we go. There's the 7. What a bunch of cunts.
A set of wankers. You've also got The Boys. I was a bit like, I didn't really quite get the concept. I think they do a much better job in season 2 of kind of fleshing out who the boys are, not just as people, but like what their purpose is.
Yeah.
In season 1, I think they're just on a bit of a, Billy Butcher's just on a bit of a ramp, like a warpath.
Yeah.
Because he believes that Homelander raped and killed his wife. Yeah, so he's been looking for her for 8 years, and on the way he's picked up who's he got? He's got Frenchie.
So a generic French guy who's very fun. I like him a lot. Mother's Milk, who's this very sweet man who in season 2 just wants to build his doll's house. Bless him.
Man, he's got so much stuff he just wants to go home and do. And people keep putting guns in his hand, and they're like, nah, aiming them at these demigods of people. And he's like, nah, man, come on.
He's just so tired. He doesn't want to be there, but he's still there because he feels like it's the right thing to do. I like him, man. He's a good guy.
He is a good guy, but he's kind of like the muscle kind of thing.
Yeah,
like he's a tank of a bloke. And you've got Kimiko as well.
Also the muscle,
great.
I guess.
Yeah, she's the super on the team. Or the soup, as they like call them. What is her power other than just being a tank?
I think it is just that, like, insane strength, because she can tear a man apart with her bare hands.
Yeah, it's a bit fucking ridiculous. But then you've got Huey. Now, the reason Butcher goes to Huey, I believe, is just because he's found out that basically someone else has shared the same fate as Butcher, that basically has had his missus killed.
Yeah.
And they're doing everything in their power to just cover it up or be like, here's a couple of $1,000, like, sorry about her, she's dead.
Yeah.
Obviously that's an enormous insult. What did you think about Huey in this season? Because I have some thoughts.
In which season? Season 1?
In season 1.
In season 1. The thing I like about Huey, and specifically his relationship with Billy, is that I definitely believe that what Billy said is true, that when he first came in contact with Billy, Huey was just a tool to him. He was just a means to an end. He was just a way to get inside Vought and plan that device, or maybe to lure one of them out so he could do whatever he needed to do. I don't know if he planned that. That's just the way it worked out. But Huey was 100% just a tool for Billy to manipulate and use. That's how it started anyway. But you see as the show goes on that Billy really does actually care for Huey. He actually starts to take him under his wing and look out for him. And yeah, he is an absolute dick to him. And in season 2, Huey has every right to be as pissed off with Billy as he is, because they really get down to it. Like in the second season, Huey's really pissed off with Billy, and for good reason. He has every right to be. But then there are those little moments. Like I remember in season 2, the episode where I think they're at the hospital, like the mental hospital, no, the super hospital, sorry. And the van gets overturned, and Huey is inside it, and straight away Butch is just so worried about Huey, and they just rush towards the van to get him out. So yeah, that relationship is really interesting. Huey as a character it's weird because there's not much to him, but he's also kind of the heart of the show as well. Like it's all really because of him that this is happening.
I think that's the entire point of him. So my thoughts on him was that in season 1, I thought that he was basically just this kind of like fun character who'd been picked up on this ride and like Mother's Milk, handed a gun, and then suddenly the next thing you know he's shooting people. And yeah, there's the funny scenes where like he leans up, shoots this guy in the head by complete accident, and just goes sorry.
Yeah, that's great.
And it's funny and it is great, but for a whole season of a show, it got to me a little bit that he didn't really do much. In season 2, flipped it completely on his head, and they start to really explore the fact that Huey's just an average dude. Like, because there's certain scenes where like he's sat there, he's covered in like countless people's blood.
Yeah.
One of my favourite moments is they have a heart-to-heart inside of the carcass of a whale.
Yeah.
It's fucking obscene. Like, it's such a stupid show, but the fact like that they can make me take moments like that seriously, is such a testament to how much they put in. And I think the reason I think they deliberately held back on giving Huey too much of a character so they could have it hit him like a train in season 2.
Yeah, it's definitely, there's definitely some great character progression with that character. One thing I actually quite like about him is I've already said his relationship with is it Katie Starlight?
His who? Sorry,
Katie. Is that
Starlight?
Is her name Katie?
Oh, I don't know.
I think it's Katie. I'm just going to say Starlight. But his relationship with Starlight is very cute. And all throughout the entire first season, there's this whole cloud looming over it because you just know at some point it's all going to go tits up because of the fact that he's lying to her. Basically, you know that at some point it's going to go tits up, but they're still very cute together. One thing I actually really like is on their date, in season 1, he clocks that she's holding back when they're going bowling. He clocks that she's holding back and not showing like exactly what she's capable. And he was like, "What are you doing? It's a bit of a joke. Just drop it. I'm not some fragile little boy. I can handle you beating me in bowling." I'm like, you know what, man? Hats off to you. I like you, Huey.
Yeah.
You can stay.
Yeah, he's a good lad, and I think that is the essence of his character, that he is just meant to be, I think, the only like through and through decent bloke who's not like, I know you've got Mother's Milk, but Mother's Milk is still a murderer.
Well, I mean, he's great. Huey.
Yeah, he is, but my God, he's like, if you look at the motivations, Mother's Milk, his dad, I think it was, his dad got in legal trouble with Vought, and like basically worked himself so silly defending his legal case that he basically kind of stressed himself out to death.
Yeah.
And he's always resented Vought for that, right? Fair enough. Lovely motivation, I get it. Huey's girlfriend was ran through. Like, if Huey wants to take a few shots that's fine. You've got a green light, man. That's a pass, right? Mother's Milk. He just had a dad that died. That was it. Like, Huey is truly the only decent bloke in the show.
I see.
Who's a contender?
Frenchie, I'd say. He's fucked up, don't get me wrong. He's very fucked up, but Frenchie really cares about his friends. He really cares about the people he's with.
Okay, I'll take that. All right, Huey and Frenchie, fan club. All right, let's move on to season 2, because season 2 I think is really the meat of the show, where it kind of came into its own and found its voice.
Yeah, with a new character.
With a new... Oh, dude, when this is something you probably wouldn't have seen because you jumped straight into the series. The marketing for season 2, they released a clip, which is like like the beginning of Justice League where the kids are like filming Superman on their phone.
Yeah.
They did that,
it's awful.
But it was with Homelander, and Starlight was this kind of irritating character that was like, I just got put in the 7, yes, bitches, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I went, obviously, right, as a bloke who knows what this show is, I went, she's going to be like the new irritating character. She's going to be like the new comedic relief.
So when you said Starlight, you meant Stormfront?
I meant Stormfront.
Okay,
I did.
Right. Yeah, so I just got confused for a second there.
Yeah, sorry. So, yeah, I thought, here it comes. She's just going to be the comedic relief.
Yeah.
Nope. Spoiler alert. Again, if you haven't seen the series, go and watch the series.
So
she's a straight up Nazi.
She's a Nazi, yeah. So she's literally a Nazi, though.
She's like Hitler's best mate Nazi.
So I didn't watch any marketing, so I just went straight in from season 1 to season 2. No trailer, no nothing, no clips, no anything like that. So yeah, just went straight into season 2. Now, at first, I'm ashamed of the fact that I actually really liked Stormfront at first. I thought she was this, cool, like breaking the status quo of the 7. She was like the one who was like, nah, fuck all this corporate bullshit. I'm just here to be a superhero. I'm just here to do what I need to do. Fuck the man and all that stuff. I was like,
fell into the trap.
Yeah, I did. I 100% did. I was like, I like you. You're pretty cool. Yeah, fuck capitalism and all that bullshit. But then
you big lefty.
Yeah, but you big commie cunt. But then it was the episode where they're chasing Kimiko and her brother, the super terrorist, and she's chasing them through the building. I was like, oh, she's really strong. I'm like, oh, she just like tore down that building, and did she just kill that family? That's pretty strange. Oh, she just killed that other guy. Oh, these people are all black. Oh, okay, yeah. And then she just comes, she just kills Kimiko's brother with a word I'm not going to repeat, but a very harsh slur as she kills him.
Very choice language.
Yes, it's shocking, she does.
And it's designed to be so.
It's very shocking. It's very horrific as well. And from then, I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, no, I don't like you. Nah, fuck that. Obviously. So, yeah.
No, I'm quite partial to it myself, Nathan. I think she's a great character.
I'm sure you do.
No, I felt uncomfortable saying that.
She's the fucking worst, man. She's a literal Nazi, and definitely a character that you are intentionally supposed to hate, and I think that's probably, like I said, I didn't see any of the marketing, but it sounds like they hid that part. They obviously didn't go in and show her as a fucking Nazi or anything in the trailers, I'm assuming.
They hid it so well, like ridiculously well. I will say this, it's a very, very important, this second season especially, it goes into some really important kind of political and social commentary, and a lot of the times I'm not hugely a fan of that in my superhero shows, right? And not to say I'm like deaf to it, right? But I feel like sometimes it can come across as creators trying to beat you over the head with a stick.
Yeah.
And it seems very disingenuous. This show fucking nails it.
It really does.
And the fact that, by the way, the fact that at the time when this was coming out was when the 2020 election was going on. Just if people happen to listen to this podcast a couple of months down the line, this show was released around the 2020 election, and the fact that there's Trump supporters out there like wearing Homelander's costume.
Oh my
God,
God,
making yourself look like a fucking idiot.
How do they not get it? That's fucking terrifying.
You are a fucking moron.
Have you seen the show? What the fuck are you doing?
You're the Nazi.
It's fucking absurd. I'm sorry, I don't mean to get too political, but it is fucking absurd that in 2020 a message Nazi equals bad is controversial. It really is fucking ridiculous. Insane, isn't it? But I guess that's the world we live in. There we go.
Sadly so. One thing I'll move on from Stormfront in this, because she is great.
One thing I do just want to say on Stormfront. Stormfront is, well, the actress who plays, I don't want to say Stormfront's great. She's not. She's fucking awful. The portrayal,
as a character, she serves an incredible character.
She does, yeah, and she does exactly what she's supposed to do very well. That's what I'll say. But one thing about Stormfront, which I recently learned, is in the comics, she's actually a guy. I believe Stormfront, who is also a Nazi, but yeah, they just gender swapped the character, which is
it's the same character, just a woman in the show.
There we go.
I think that this season, again, I've said this is my favourite season of the two. This does an amazing job with Homelander as well. Again, as I said, right, this guy, right, a lot of people came out of this and went, Homelander's a Nazi. He's not. He's a really desperate man who really just wants to be loved.
You see, I've seen a lot of people talking and debating over the fact is Homelander racist, or is he just going along with Stormfront? To me, it's pretty clear that he's racist.
Yeah, he is, right? I think right, put it this way, if you're going to do the things that he does, even if you're just going along with someone, you're racist. Like, if someone shoots someone in the head and I go, oh, well, I need to shoot someone in the head now, I'm still a murderer.
Yeah,
it's true. And he is, but his motivations behind such, this prejudice didn't exist in season 1. It was never hinted at. It was never like, obviously he had like an elitist complex and he he believed him to be better than people. But as soon as Stormfront got into his head,
I don't know. I think it's his look is very intentional. I reckon he's very all-American, tall, blonde hair, blue eyes. What does that remind you of?
Yeah, I know. I get it.
I think it is very. His look is very intentional. The moment I saw him, it's like Hitler's idea of the master race. That's what fucking Hitler had in mind. Okay,
and well, yeah, but that is exactly what Hitler had in mind. That's the plot point in the show.
But yeah, exactly. But that's his look in the first season. So I do think it. Yeah, he's not going full fucking Third Reich. He's not doing the fucking Nazi salute and everything like that. But I do think it's at least hinted at, and just in his look alone.
Fair enough. I'm not going to fight you too hard on this, as I don't want to be known as the person who tries to dispute people are Nazis, especially when they do some Nazi-esque stuff.
Lawrence, the Nazi forgiver.
No, please.
The Nazi apologist, I should say.
No, I think they're bad people. What I will say in this, then, speaking in terms of a character, Homelander really develops in this season, and there's a moment, right, and I had to catch myself because it is again one of the moments. Like the moment you had with Stormfront, where you presumed you like this character.
Yeah.
I had the same thing with Homelander, right? Who shows up with some flowers on a date. He goes there to go on a little date.
Is that what you was talking about when you said there's a moment where you might feel sorry for Homelander?
Yeah.
To me. See, I didn't. I was like, dude, read the fucking room, okay? What interaction have you had with Stormfront so far that would lead you to believe this is a good idea and she would like it? Because nothing about what we've seen.
But he doesn't know that, man.
Yeah, because he's a fucking sociopath.
Yes, because he was right. If you put it this way, right, if you're raised in a lab, you're given again, something you might not have seen, right? Marketing for this. I don't know if it actually ended up being a scene in the show or if it was like a bonus teaser kind of thing. Homelander, obviously, he was raised in like this little lab kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it mostly just kind of took place in this white bedroom where every day he'd have like school with his mum, who obviously isn't his mum. It's some actress playing his mum. And the actress would show him like kind of... it would be on a projector and like a picture of a baseball would come up and he'd be like, I know this one, baseball, the greatest game on earth, or something like that, like America's favorite pastime kind of thing.
Didn't he kill her?
And yeah, man, he killed like 7 of them.
He killed 7 of his mums.
Yeah, but by hugging them so tight that they died.
Brutal.
Yeah, it wasn't like it wasn't like he got cross and killed them kind of thing. It was he loved them and he was like they were the only person he knew.
Yeah.
So he hugged them. And then there's a moment in that teaser where you don't know that she's like mum number 8 or whatever. And the guy comes in. And Homelander's like, I'm sorry, blah, blah. And he's only a kid, and you do feel bad for him. And this scientist bloke goes, it's okay, we'll take care of her, just like we did with the last ones. And it's like, oh, man, that's fucked. Like,
yeah, well, yeah,
I see why Homelander is a sociopathic, maniac.
Yeah, yes, I agree. I understand his reasonings for being as fucked up as he is. Doesn't mean that it's like earned or forgiven or whatever. He's still an incredibly terrible and awful person and deserves to have his head chopped off as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, well, that is the truth, Nathan. Again, I will stop fighting you on this before I dig myself a hole.
Who knew this would be the episode where Lawrence showed his true colours as a Nazi apologist?
Fuck, go away. Really quickly, I know because we're conscious of time and we're getting quite close to the end. What did you make of season 2 as a whole?
It's really good. Like I said, I was so hooked on it that I binged the entire thing in about a day pretty much. It was really great. I was so hooked on it. It had great kind of cameos from Iceman from X-Men as Lamplighter, who was just a great little in-joke and great little touch there. I liked him. And I just loved the fact that he was just straight up watching porn at like 12 o'clock midday on a giant screen. Not even wanking. I just sat there watching porn for some reason.
I love that Huey's uncomfortable as well because it's like a Vort's like the 7 porn parody, and so someone who looks like Starlight is just getting railed in front of Huey.
Isn't he in the porno as well? Like there's someone who's supposed to be him.
Well, someone who's supposed to be Lamplighter.
No, Huey.
I don't think Huey's in it, is he?
I think I remember that. I don't know. Maybe I'm making that up. But I kind of remember like a weedy guy who resembled Huey being in there and then just Huey having a weird look on his face. I don't know. Maybe I'm making that up. But I remember that for some reason.
I sincerely hope that is in the show.
But yeah, that was great. And then the way they sneak into Vought together, but then Lamplighter just fucking tops himself.
Yeah,
all right.
That was a bit of a like, all right, dude, nice one.
Yeah,
like,
I thought he was gonna like betray Huey and turn him in or something at first, but then he just like, I don't know, he just like killed himself. I'm like, all right, well,
I like that he went there and he was like, it's time to make a big statement. And Vought would just like, get this fucking charred carcass out of here, man. Like, who is this cunt?
What did you quickly think about the deep storyline in season 2?
I liked it and I didn't like it. It was, for me, some of the most boring scenes. Whenever I got there, I felt like I kind of wanted to get back to the actual show.
Yeah.
It felt like they were making up a lot of stuff for him to do. But then again, the actor is good. I like him. And I think he plays the character well. And there were some, like, only in this show are you going to have Patton Oswalt voicing Gills. singing "You Are So Beautiful to Me" or whatever that song is.
That was fucking insane, man.
It was so uncomfortable.
It was so uncomfortable. I'm not sure about the Deep as a character, because literally the first introduction we have, he's an absolute fucking dickhead. He does one of the worst things someone can do. He's an absolute fucking cunt, okay?
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable with the fact that the show tries to give him a redemption arc after that. It just doesn't sit right with me. They show you that and then go, no, he's not that bad. Look at him. Look, he's trying to save fish and everything like that. And because I think it's also because of what happens to him. Because he gets raped as well, and a scene that is so uncomfortable to watch as well. It's and no one deserves that. Like, rapist or not, you don't deserve to get raped yourself. It's still, I don't know. The whole idea of giving him a redemption arc it doesn't really sit right with me. It just made me a little uncomfortable, really.
Yeah, I think they built themselves a barrier. I personally, I think the Deep is there in the 7 for a punchline.
Yeah.
And then the fact that the punchline kind of happened and then they didn't really know what else to do with his character.
Yeah.
Like, even the other minor, like, they dispose of Translucent within, like, the first couple of episodes because he's not going to be a big character. Black Noir is always just in the background who can get away with it. A-Train is, like, one of the side characters in Season 2, but he at least does stuff towards the end. And with the Deep, I feel like they went, look, haha, Aquaman's useless. And then people went, yeah, we get it. And then they went, well, he's not dead, and we've kind of got to write him in the show somehow.
Yeah. It's a weird one. We are getting close to the end here. What do you have any hopes for Season 3? Anything you want to see? Anything you're hoping for?
Yeah. I really want to see Butcher become more of a dad to Ryan.
I do too.
There's a scene, right, and it's obviously like the most like climactic scene of the end of the season, where Ryan uses his laser vision to not kill, but incapacitate Stormfront to a ridiculous end. In which case, kind of his mum gets caught up in the collateral damage. So Becca Butcher does end up dying, which has been teased from the start, and Billy Butcher just has this look of seething hatred for him.
Yeah.
And I was sat there on the sofa and I genuinely was like, don't kill the kid. Don't fucking kill the kid. But the fact that I genuinely thought he was capable of it.
No, I didn't. No point did I think he was going to kill that kid.
I don't know, man. I thought he was.
I never thought that would happen. I think, yeah, sure, he's angry, and it's not a situation he likes, obviously. But no, there was no part of me that ever thought that kid was in danger from Billy, anyway.
He picked up the crowbar, which is his iconic weapon from the comics. That was a great moment, to be fair, though. Really quickly, there's one moment I just wanted to touch on. I'll make it aware to the listeners. We know we've already spoken about this off the podcast. You texted me at one point and you said, "Okay, I liked the Endgame. I liked the Endgame girl power sequence, but nothing will beat those 3 women just beating and kicking the ever-loving fuck out of Stormfront
that was great.
Together."
Yeah,
and it's a brilliant moment. If that's how you do a girl power moment.
Yeah, the one in Endgame is very in your face. Look at us, where we support women. This one
Disney
was just
care about you.
Yeah, this one was just that. Yeah, that's how you do it. It's not. Yeah, it's good.
What about you? Hopes for Season 3?
I want to see Ryan join the boys. I want to see him become part of the team. I honestly, outside of that, I really don't know. Homelander's wanking over the city, I guess, so there's that. But I don't really have any hopes. Just want to see how fucked up this world can get, I guess. And I want to see that cunt die.
Yeah, I didn't know what I hoped for in Season 2, and what I got I was very happy with, so I'm very trusting in the writers. I hope they do more with the politician character, like the senator, who was revealed to have the
twist.
mind powers thing.
Yeah. AOC.
That was a great little moment. People say she's based on AOC.
I mean, that's probably just the fact that she's left-wing and Latina, but okay.
Yeah, More than likely. but you know, the internet, you've got to get your clickbait in there somehow, man.
Yeah, I guess.
How many happy pods was this for you?
Oh, for fuck's sake. I'll give this 9 boys out of 10 boys.
Oh, okay, high ratings.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, do you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna go for a 9. I was gonna go for an 8, but you've persuaded me to go a little bit higher.
There we go. What a fun thing.
Well, there you bloody have it, boys. As always, thank you very, very much for listening, you at home. I hope you've had a great time and a whale of a time. I apologise. On this episode of Another Happy Pod, brought to you by the Pint Size Network. At this point, we have stuff on our YouTube channel. Please feel free to go and check that out. We've actually got a quick video on.
Maybe we do.
It will be there, Nathan. It will be there.
Okay.
It's a promise. It's a fucking promise.
We'll see.
Me and Nathan having a great discussion about whether you should take Compound V, the serum that gives the supers their powers in this. Be sure to check us out on Twitter as well. We post GIFs, we post other stuff, and we post some tweets on there too. You can find us at Another Happy Pod, also on Instagram. Drop us a fucking... Do whatever you want. Drop us something and let us know what you want to see next. But Nathan, any other parting words?
Another Happy Pod.
Oh, you'd love to see it.